All right, we're going to go to St. John the Baptist Parish President, Jaclyn Hotard, who's joining us right now via Zoom. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us again.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. You know, I am getting some really good information I'm looking at right now regarding the water that's in parish-wide. Can you give us an update on what's happening and what's the water situation there?
Yes, we have begun to slowly be able to restore water, and it's just by the grace of God with how severely impacted our water is. It is coming in very slowly, and the residents can expect to see it sometimes seem like it's out again just because as it's restored and people pull on the system and we haven't built up full pressure. So it may go in and out, but our water is being restored. And to say that we are right at almost 72 hours away from a Cat 4 storm making landfall in our parish. It's just a testament to the hard work of our utilities department.
Okay, so of course with that water pressure being low, that's just being restored, I assume that there is a boil water advisory being put in place for St. John.
Yes, ma'am, and we actually put that in place last night. The boil water advisory parish-wide, because as areas get restored, we just want to make sure that we've covered the entire parish and let them know that there will be a boil water advisory, that it is already in place. We issued it last night. It's safe to bathe, but not for consumption. You just need to boil the water first.
Okay, well, can you give us an update regarding the recovery, the assessment of damage in your parish?
Yes, we are still doing damage assessments. This has been more challenging than our Hurricane Isaac, a storm we can compare it to, because it's not just a flood event, it's a wind event. And we had many roads that were impassable. Even up to this morning, we had some state highways that were impassable, and we've been able to clear those. So we are continuing to do damage assessments. And as far as energy, we're receiving a lot of requests for updates about energy. What they have told us is that every single transmission station in St. John was damaged. So I do believe that we're looking at a good bit of time for them to continue with their assessments as well and make those much needed repairs.
Okay, what in regards to, I know that there were some rescues in your area. Are there any more rescues that happened overnight or leading into this morning?
We haven't had any, it's actually the 911 center, the calls have come down. What we've had, I would say, over the last day or so are people that, it's hot, without water and without electricity, the conditions are becoming unbearable. And so we've had some people that we've had to evacuate just because of those conditions. But the 911 center has reported that the calls have really not been coming in for rescues.
So when you evacuate them, where are you evacuating them to?
What we did, we evacuated about 800 people. And again, we want to thank our first responders, our sheriff's office and fire department went out in some very dangerous conditions. We evacuated them. We had two places. We had a shelter set up in place in our parish, and then we had another site that we evacuated people to. And from there, about 300 or so of those individuals were evacuated to either Lamar Dixon Center, and I believe some went to Alexandria. Some, once they got to a safe location, called family and friends. That's why we rescued about 800, but 300 were moved to either Lamar Dixon or Alexandria. And then,
Well, quick question for you. I know that usually when you go through the damage assessment, you sometimes run into issues that you might not have witnessed before. Is there anything in particular that you think is going to hinder the recovery process in St. John?
Just not having electricity, some of that critical infrastructure. But right now, I don't believe there will be a hindrance. People can come in, do those damage assessments, go ahead and make their insurance claims. Again, we've all been declared, so we're sending FEMA out there. One concern that I've had, and the FEMA administrator was here yesterday, we raised the concern of the communication issues. Many of us, you have to even go in a certain room in the building to be able to communicate. FEMA is sending teams out in our community so that they can go ahead and process information for our residents and then upload it when they get back into the office so they can get registered for FEMA assistance. Red Cross is also sending 60 feeding stations, if you will, into the community. So that's going to ramp up. We stood up our first 2 point of distribution sites where we gave out 1,000 ice, MREs, and water at Regala Gymnasium today, and 300 at our Wallace Fire Station on the West Bank. When we will continue to do that tomorrow, beginning at 8 o'clock, and we will ramp up and add more locations as those resources come in. But we did distribute that much water, ice, and MREs. And again, we're just 72 hours from this storm even making landfall. So I would say that our recovery is going very well. It's not an ideal situation, but we're doing everything we can to provide as much relief to our residents as possible.
Obviously not an ideal situation for all of the Bayou region, all of Southeast Louisiana who've been impacted by Hurricane Ida. We have Facebook, Twitter viewers, and people, of course, who are keeping in touch with this on social media, of course, due to the power outages that everyone is experiencing. Is there something you'd like to share with residents from St. John the Baptist?
Definitely, if you can share our information with your family and friends, because we know there is a challenge. Also, with the Blue Roof program, what we've learned is that you can register your family and friends for a blue roof at blueroof.us. So if you know a couple of your friends and family that need to have that blue tarp placed on their home to prevent any future damage, please assist them with doing that also. And if you do come into the parish, please use extreme caution. There are still many low-hanging power lines, and so please use extreme caution. And just to hang on, you know, we're a very resilient community in St. John. We've been down this road. This is much worse than what we've seen before, but I have no doubt that we will come back a better community and a stronger community.
I know there's a lot of lessons to be learned after every strong hurricane comes our way. Parish President Jaclyn Hotard, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in the recovery. We hope to check back in and get more good news like this, where we're seeing more progress, and this is just 72 hours out.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.